First, let's start by subscribing. Kristin Haney's novel, Women, is a deeply insightful account of one woman's life
amid the turmoil
in the turbulent
of the
late
Vietnam War.
1960s. The novel is a moving account of a young woman named Frankie McGowan's journey to discover her identity amid the horrors of war and the indifference of society. With her delicate writing style, Haney explores the scars of war, social prejudice, and the inner world of women, giving readers deep empathy and resonance. 1. Historical background and main character. The novel
When the
is set
Vietnam
in the late
War was in full
1960s.
swing.
The main character, Frankie, is a beautiful woman who grew up in a wealthy and conservative family. But because her brother is in the war, she volunteers to be a nurse and jumps into the middle of the war. She witnesses the horrific reality of war firsthand, and comes to realize the dignity of humanity and the preciousness of life. However, the war leaves her with deep scars, and she struggles with the trauma of war and the coldness of society. 2. The horrors of war and the role of women. Women vividly depicts the horrors of war. Highlights the role of women who devotedly fought on the battlefield. Frankie and her fellow nurses work tirelessly to care for the wounded and save lives. They are portrayed as beings who do not lose their courage and dedication, even in the midst of the horrors and suffering of war, and as beings who illuminate the dark side of war. They become forgotten and ignored by society. Society does not recognize their sacrifice and dedication, and treats them as a byproduct of war. 3. Social prejudice and isolation. Frankie returns from war and faces the cold gaze of society. People treat her as a war madwoman, and do not try to understand her experiences and feelings. She becomes isolated and loses her identity amid the trauma of war and social prejudice. She wanders, constantly questioning who she is and what she should do. This portrayal of Frankie shows the psychological impact of war on an individual, and how the indifference of society can isolate an individual. 4. The novel of self-discovery and growth movingly depicts Frankie's process of overcoming the wounds of war and social prejudice to find his own identity. She finds strength and healing from her wounds through solidarity with fellow nurses like Barbara Lane and Ethel. She also begins to speak out against the injustices of society. She works to protect the rights of female veterans and to tell the truth about war. Through this process, Frankie finds the meaning of his life and is reborn as his true self. 5. The meaning and message of the work. Women is not just a war novel, but a work that contains deep reflections on human dignity, the preciousness of life. This novel delivers hope and courage to readers through the story of a woman who heals the wounds of war, overcomes social prejudice, and finds her own identity. Moreover, this novel reminds us of the sacrifices and dedication of female veterans that we have forgotten, and emphasizes the need to protect their rights. Women conveys a message of comfort and empathy to all those who have suffered the pain of war, and urges us to work together to create a better society. Kristin Haney poses profound questions about war, giving readers a moving story that will stay with them for a long time. If you subscribe, I will try harder and do better.